Today on CityCast Pittsburgh, 160,000 people in Allegheny County are looking for food right now. More than double that if you include our outlying counties. Today, we are talking about what's going on with the federal SNAP program and how it's hitting Pittsburgh, plus how you can find food, get involved, and get loud for our neighbors who need it most. It's Thursday, November 6th. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. I'm with newsletter editor Francesca DeBecco. Hello.
Hello.
And reporter for Axios Pittsburgh, Chrissy Settles. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So glad you could join us today. I mean, we're sad about the topic, but excited to share ways that the community can get involved.
Yeah, like how to get involved now that SNAP is not flowing, how it's literally always flowed before. Chrissy, put this into perspective for us. How many people are we talking about here in Pennsylvania and in our region?
So 2 million Pennsylvanians rely on SNAP benefits each month. That's roughly 385,000 in Western PA, Southwestern PA, and 160,000 just in Allegheny County. And 80% of those people are families with children, seniors, and people with disabilities.
It's just like a staggering amount of need.
Yeah. And let's be clear, nothing about this is normal. Like every time that there's been a government shutdown in the past, SNAP benefits have continued to flow with the contingency funds. And I know we're going to get a little bit more into that, but it's just a really sad need for our community.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're listening to this, if you have not been following, SNAP is Federal Food Assistance, so formerly known as food stamps, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. 60 years old, Francesca, like you said, never been interrupted before, even during things like shutdowns. And it covers a ton of stuff. So like fruits, veggies, meat, dairy, bread, cereal. They'll even do like seeds and plants that grow food. And very importantly, baby formula.
Yes.
But there's also a ton that it does not cover. So like diapers and wipes if you have a small child, pet food, cleaning supplies, things like toothpaste or tampons, like basic toiletries. It won't cover that. Nothing alcoholic, no cigarettes, no vitamins, no medicines. Also, confusingly to me, no hot foods. So if there's like a hot food bar at the grocery store, SNAP won't cover that. So there's like a lot that it will do, but a lot of limitations as well.
Yeah, definitely. And so, you know, it's been this back and forth of where do the SNAP benefits stand? Chrissy, what's the update?
Great question. So I feel like it changes from hour to hour.
Truly,
so
as we're recording this, what do we know?
So at the beginning of October, the Trump administration signaled that they would not fund SNAP benefits. It's about with their contingency fund. It's about $5 billion, which doesn't even touch the actual need of SNAP benefits until the government shutdown ended. And at the beginning of November, those benefits shut off for everybody. And so then there was 2 federal judges that basically said you have to use these benefits. You have to use these.
What it's made for.
You have to use these contingency funds. And so the Trump administration said, yes, we will. And then Trump posted on Truth Social that he would not be complying with the judge's orders. And then his press secretary hours later said, we are complying with those orders. So we truly have no idea of what's next for SNAP benefits, but that still leaves, hundreds of thousands of people in our region kind of guessing.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, a lot of our state systems are like just trying to fill in the gaps. Like Governor Josh Shapiro announced $5 million in state funding to go to the nonprofit Feeding Pennsylvania, which is like a statewide association of the major regional food banks, including the greater Pittsburgh one. But like not even close to enough. And I think they're doing like a separate private fundraiser as well for like an extra $1 million. But like that's just such small potatoes.
And that also,
truly no pun intended. Like, it's just not enough.
Yeah. And that also assumes that people like can get to those food banks, whereas they can't just use their normal cards at the grocery store to get those benefits. So there's still a barrier there. But that's why we want to talk about, all the ways that people can find assistance or donate in hopes that as many neighbors can get the help that they need as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, just to front load, this is such an evolving story, but because of it, that's why I think CityCast, Francesca, you in the newsletter, and Axios Pittsburgh, like all of us have been trying to round up opportunities for folks to find food, to get involved, to share your voice or share a few dollars, whatever you got. So we will talk more specifics about what you can do after the break. Today's episode is sponsored in part by Family House. For families traveling here for medical care, the cost of food is just another expense to worry about. But Family House's daily healthy breakfast program takes away some of that stress, while also providing a little connection. The program's available to all Family House guests, and it provides nourishing meals, a welcoming space, and the chance to meet others facing similar medical challenges. But the cost of this meal program is going up. Family House needs your help. Every donation helps keep breakfast and the support it provides available to those who need it most. You can give at familyhouse.org/donate and save the date for Family House's Day of Giving. It's December 2nd on Giving Tuesday. You know, Family House really is a home away from home for patients and caregivers here in Pittsburgh, and it's the preferred lodging partner for a lot of our healthcare systems here. So again, if you want to support their cause, head over to familyhouse.org/donate.
Today's episode is sponsored by the Frick Museums and Gardens and their world premiere of The Scandinavian Home, Landscape and Lore. The exhibit is open right now, and it is the perfect way to embrace the start of winter while still feeling all warm and cozy. There's this sense of magic to it all, because princesses, Vikings, trolls, gnomes, and folktales all come to life in this exhibition. The Scandinavian Home's got this mix of homey comfort and mythic wonder. The show features more than 100 objects from a private, never-seen-before collection. So you'll get to admire fine decorative and folk arts, so think furniture, ceramics, glass, paintings, textiles, sculptures, graphics, and metalwork. So much stuff, all from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. And after debuting at the Frick, this exhibit is going to move on to other museums, so do not miss your chance to get that first look. The Scandinavian Home, Landscape and Lore is on view through January 11th, 2026. Get your tickets at thefrickpittsburgh.org. Coziness awaits you.
All right, let's level set. Is it better to donate money or food?
Definitely money.
Money.
Chrissy's nodding.
Yes.
100% money.
Why money?
Because organizations, for example, like the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank, they can make the dollar stretch a lot further. So for every $1, they can provide 3 meals for folks. And this is because they can buy in bulk. That's not to say like don't donate food to pantries, because it might be different, like depending on like small community pantries, and sometimes they will have specific needs too. But definitely your dollar will go further.
And it's like very much worth noting that anything that you donate to the food bank, I mean, it's very much needed right now, but it cannot fill the gap of SNAP right now. So SNAP provides 9 meals for every 1 meal that food banks can provide.
Okay, so money's better, not food. But if you're going to spend your money, should you do it with a big organization or should you do it with something like super small in your community?
You know, I think it probably depends on your priorities. There's a lot of people right now in their communities building, you know, on-site mini pantries for their neighbors in need. They're connecting with people on Facebook. And I think that is amazing. And I think it says a lot about Pittsburgh and, you know, how we take care of our neighbors. But the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank also serves far more people, and they are contending with an unprecedented demand right now. So I don't know that one's better than the other. I think they're both really needed and important.
Yeah, I say, you know, show up in whatever way that you can. And if that means, you know, staying within your neighborhood or giving for the broader Pittsburgh region, I think you can't go wrong. But if you do like want to give to pantries, one thing to just do is check their websites, because they'll often list the things that are in need right now, whether it's hygiene products, diapers. Sometimes they'll list specific canned goods like canned fruit or oatmeal for like shelf stable items. So you can really like customize it to what the need is right now if you kind of do a little bit of research.
And I think it's also helpful to like step back and remember like what the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank actually does. Because, I mean, it's located along the Mon River. It is not a super accessible location for most people in the city of Pittsburgh, but they do an enormous amount of distribution. So they bulk buy for food pantries all over Western Pennsylvania, including some really big ones like Westmoreland. They share resources. So while, yes, like we want to think about it as like the one big center is in one spot, they do a tremendous amount all over the place. In terms of food pantries, where do y'all recommend people go to find them?
So there is actually a great resource. It's PA211, and they have an interactive map where you can put in your address, your zip code, and find pantries near you.
That's a really great way to connect with like what's closest to you if you're like trying to get accessibility. There's also more resources on Pennsylvania's Department of Human Services website. You can find a list there. And of course, we have a running list on our website, pittsburgh.citycast.fm. If you want to learn about a few more, we have kind of like descriptions and different organizations and ways to get involved. We're going to talk more about that, though.
Yeah, and I would also just recommend things like Facebook, too. I feel like the ones that are listed on the state websites are amazing, but like sometimes if you just type in food bank in your community name, there might be one at like a church or something like that that's like just around the corner.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. Even like Google, like it could be that easy.
Yeah. What about community fridges? Like how do you find them? How do you use them? What's like the etiquette?
Speaking of things that are around the corner, yes,
honestly,
community-free fridges are a way, are like fridges that are set up at different neighborhood spots, whether it's a church or a library, sometimes coffee shops, and they're where folks can drop off food or pick up food. And it's really just a way to like share. Maybe you bought too much yogurt on your Costco run and and you want to give it to some other folks. And it's just a way that people can like give what they can, take what they need. And it's really just like 24/7, just like open access to the neighborhood. And a bunch of neighborhoods have these. They're often called fridges, which I think is fun.
It's fun just to watch you attempt to say that word.
Yes. I know of a couple like the Millville Library has one, Second Harvest Thrift Store in Sharpsburg, the Garden Cafe in Spring Hill. They're all over the area. And so we'll have a list of these on our website as well. And as far as like etiquette goes, like what I said, like take what you need, leave what you can. But some do have guidelines on whether you can actually offer prepared food. So like a fully prepared meal, maybe it's frozen, maybe it's, left over. And so just make sure that you check, whatever resources, their website, their socials of whether they accept those, and then make sure they're clearly marked. So what the ingredients are, and if there's any allergens that people need to be mindful of. But otherwise, it's pretty kind of like, pretty free. It truly is free.
Don't just show up with casserole and put it in the fridge and walk away.
Come to my house with that.
Yeah. As much as people probably would enjoy it, just make sure, you check.
It's an appropriately labeled casserole at a refrigerator that wants that. What if you want to help provide things like hot meals, like whether it's like part of a line or, a group, or if you like baking and you want to be able to share that kind of joy in that way?
So I just actually learned about this great organization in Squirrel Hill called Our Giving Kitchen, and every week they prepare fresh meals for neighbors in need, and it's all volunteer run. You get to participate from beginning to end in preparing these meals. So like chopping veggies, rolling meatballs, packaging them in to-go containers and things. And they say that in under 90 minutes, you can cook 100 meals for people struggling with food insecurity. And they say that it's like super family friendly. So if you're like looking for a way to volunteer as a group or something, I think it's just like kind of like almost like a cooking class, but for the community maybe.
And in mass too. Like this is how my family cooked growing up, is like you had a line, you had a job, someone was like overseeing the whole thing. Like grandma was the project manager. I kind of love this. Also, like what a cool way to like also just like be in community with people too and like get to know your neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like, if you never had any time cooking in a kitchen for a restaurant, this is your experience. And then, of course, there's the Jubilee Kitchen in the Hill District. They offer food pantries, but they also do hot meals every day. And they say that volunteers are always needed, like 365, to do meal prep, to serve guests, to stock the pantry. So that's another great place to volunteer at.
Yeah, and I've heard of like meal distribution collectives too. Francesca, I know you have a couple on our website, like Food Not Bombs, and Rice. Is that how you say it?
Yes, it's like lowercase I, but rice. They deliver hot meals as well as like clothing and toiletries in Allegheny Commons Park every first, second, and third Saturday of the month. Food Not Bombs, like you mentioned, they lead different distributions for hot meals and groceries at locations all over the city. There's another organization in Homestead called Rainbow Kitchen, and they have a variety of anti-hunger programs, but they do specifically hot breakfast and then dinner for kids. So that's great if like you're looking for something specific to support children. And then Our Streets Collective is another organization to get involved with. They do offer like hot meals to folks, as well as like they're a part of this collaborative network to support unhoused neighbors. Right now, they don't have like a way to get to volunteer on their website, but you can 100% donate or buy items for their Amazon wish list. So there's tons of ways to get involved and just follow these organizations.
We are with you today thanks to the Greater Pittsburgh Nonprofit Partnership, a program of the Forbes Funds. For 2 decades, GPNP has been helping local nonprofits lead with impact. And every year, they pause to recognize the incredible people behind all of that work. The GPNP Awards honor nonprofit leaders who drive innovation, equity, and lasting change across Western Pennsylvania. From youth empowerment and technology to advocacy and community action, these are the people making our region stronger every day. If you know someone like that, nominate them now for the 2025 GPNP Awards and join hundreds of changemakers celebrating their impact at this year's GPNP Summit. Head to gpnpsummit.org to learn more and submit your nomination, because when we celebrate good work, we inspire even more of it. Chrissy, what about like food delivery? Because I mean, gosh, one of the biggest organizations in our city, I feel like, is like 412 Food Rescue. But I mean, they're not alone anymore. I feel like there's like a bunch of groups in this space in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah, there's like a growing trend of these like food delivery. So it's basically like, so you have the Food Rescue Hero app through 412 Rescue. They launched it about a decade ago, and it has just blown up. So basically what they do is they go to restaurants or grocery stores and they collect this surplus food. You know, it's still good, but maybe it's 2 days away from its expiration and they can't sell it for whatever reason. So they pick this up and they will donate it to pantries, food banks, churches, all of these, small places, and they're 100% volunteer run. So anybody can register to be a volunteer and help out whenever they have time. And then there's also a new app called Too Good To Go, which is very similar to the Food Rescue Hero, where you can pick up surplus food and donate it to people who need it. And then there's more traditional programs like Meals on Wheels that we've all heard of that will deliver meals directly to people's homes too. So there are a ton of ways you can help, even if you only have like an hour or something on a Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, Too Good To Go, I feel like, is one to just like have in your back pocket anyway, if you're like going to a neighborhood, because like, with food insecurity being what it is, like it's an amazing way to be able to donate, but it's also just an amazing way to be able to save a buck lately, because like restaurants, like regular restaurants will put up like boxes for $5 and it's like 2 or 3 entrees that would otherwise cost you $50.
Yeah.
It's almost like shopping, and like whenever I go to Giant Eagle, I will like go to like the discount and get bread that like might go bad tomorrow for like 60 cents.
But you throw that thing in the freezer and you're good to go for like a week or two.
Like, I'll make breadcrumbs out of this later.
We got some thrifty shoppers in Pittsburgh. We know what's up.
I love this because it's like the ones that you're mentioning, they're kind of like ride sharing, and that you can pick up as much or as little as you want and however it's convenient for you. Another thing that I saw was cool is that 412 Food Rescue offers like a way that groups, whether it's like a group of friends or like a corporate group, like your work, they can get involved by doing a food rescue takeover. And if you gather your group together, you can see how many food rescues you can do, like complete in one day. So it's kind of like competition incentive.
Yeah.
I would love to see like major corporations in town like doing this as like an HR thing, like a team building exercise. Like
I love it.
Yes, let's put people to work in that way.
Let's do it.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of small businesses have been doing like incentives for folks too, like either as part of like a donation thing or just like a way to experience whatever their product or service is if you are cash strapped right now. Like that's been really neat to see.
Yeah, this is all so heartbreaking. But if one thing has come out of this is just seeing how the community has stepped up to support each other. I've been sharing ongoing in the newsletter different food drives and resources. So like keep checking for those. But just like a couple examples, like White Whale Bookstore is offering 15% off of your purchase when you donate to 412 Food Rescue. Pittsburgh Candle in East Allegheny is matching your monetary donation to the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank, and you get a free Leona's ice cream sandwich with your donation.
And those are expensive.
Yeah,
so that's
totally.
a good deal.
Bang for your buck.
And then I really love this, not food, but just a way that businesses are supporting our neighbors who lost benefits is Row House Cinema and Row House Hollywood are offering free movies and popcorn to people with SNAP benefits. And then the Pittsburgh Film Office was actually inspired by this, and they're now offering free tickets to Three Rivers Film Festival screenings to people with EBT cards. So, just another way to make life a little more enjoyable and easy in these tough times.
What about like other kinds of donations? Like I'm thinking about like pet food, for example, or things for small kids, because I think that's the thing is like if you step back and you think like, okay, you don't have EBT benefits anymore, you don't have this supplement, that means that your hard-earned money has to go towards that kind of food and you have less for some of this extra stuff like toothpaste, like cleaning supplies, like pet food.
Yeah, I found it so heartwarming that like the Black Cat Market, which is the cat cafe in Garfield now, they have like a little pet pantry that they and other people just kind of come in and stock on a revolving basis. So they have like cat food, litter, anything that pet parents might need, especially because SNAP never covers that stuff, right? So even when SNAP is back, like people will still need those things.
Even though your pets are your kids.
They're 100% your kids.
I have a small child and I agree. The parallels are there.
Yeah, there's a couple other pet food pantries. Humane Animal Rescue operates one called Ellie's Pet Pantry. Animal Friends has the Chow Wagon, Biggie's Bullies. They have the Hungry Hippo Pet Food Pantry. And then some like regular food pantries do offer pet supplies like the Jewish Family and Community Services in Squirrel Hill. But you got to check the websites to see if they do offer pet stuff if you're looking for that or looking to donate it.
Yeah. And then for parents of small children, I can't say enough good things about like the Mid-Atlantic Mother's Milk Bank, who we've talked about on this show, the Western Pennsylvania Diaper Bank. And then right now, you can donate unopened formula to any WIC office, the Catholic Charities Diocese of Pittsburgh, the Salvation Army, 412 Food Rescue. Like they're all taking these kinds of donations. Like if you were at Costco and you can afford an extra tub of this, it is just always, always a need for folks. But I feel like all of this, like everything we're talking about is also just sort of to like fill gaps, while we're in this kind of crisis stage. I just keep thinking about like what the director of the Pittsburgh Food Bank said, that like this is so much worse than anything we experienced at the height of the pandemic. And now here we are again, like trying to figure this out. If you're interested in getting more involved on the advocacy side, like whether you have the money to donate or the time, like this is something you can do for free. Where are the places that y'all recommend to kind of like push forward maybe some opportunities for systemic change?
Yes. I say follow what the Pittsburgh Food Policy Council is doing. This was created back in 2009 with a group of organizations to just advocate for these changes in the food system. And you guys you'll recognize their work. They've been involved in implementing policy changes like free breakfast at Pittsburgh Public Schools. And then they have a bunch of ways you can get involved, like learning about zoning codes. I know that doesn't sound like...
We love zoning codes, Francesca. Love them here.
We do. I know other people might be like, that's not glamorous, but it is helpful if you're trying to learn about transforming vacant lots into urban farms or gardens.
Whether you can have chickens in your backyard, they will help you advocate for that
So
if it's not a thing
pro-chicken.
allowed. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We did a whole episode about what you can and can't do in your Pittsburgh backyard.
I would also encourage people to not be reluctant to reach out to both their state and local and even federal Congress people and city council members, because having their ear is critical. And they're the ones that can do, the higher level change that you want. So send them an email. They always have their contact info on their websites. And I mean, if you want to be annoying, bug your city council person, bug your state representative, hit up Deluzio. He's always around. Tell them what you want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I would say that's even more important, perhaps, with some of our local elected Republicans. I know it feels like you're talking into the void. Sometimes it's a lot of answering machines or emails that go unanswered. But most of them across either political party, they keep account on how many people call, in what way, what kind of message they have, whether it's positive or negative, what they're advocating for. It differs from office to office, but often they do have some metric by which they are trying to keep up with what constituents are asking for, even if you don't get someone on the phone. And I know sometimes that's a good thing. You want to be able to register your complaint, but not have to talk to a human about it. So you could leave voicemails, you can send emails. It really does matter.
Yeah.
One more that I'll shout out is Just Harvest, based in the South Side. They've been doing so much amazing work for so many years. They offer, free and reduced cost things like tax prep and things like that. They help our unhoused community so much. And they're one of these organizations that if you you have 7 needs that are competing at any given moment, you can go to them and they will help you prioritize and fill out the paperwork and find the help that you need. So they're just so incredible and focused truly on the root causes of hunger, systemic poverty and inequity. And they have a big network of folks that help them try to accomplish those goals. So anyway, lots of great ways to share, to volunteer. If you feel like we missed one, please call us, text us. We won't pick up, so you won't have to interact with a human. 412-212-8893. We'd always love to add more great resources to our list. And also Axios Pittsburgh. Your colleague, Chrissy, social host Alexis Johnson, wants to chat with some locals who have lost their SNAP benefits or may be willing to speak on camera about the impact. There are a variety of ways to do that. Doesn't necessarily have to include your name or even your face in that way. But I think it is important for folks to hear some of these stories. And Axios, I know y'all are doing the good work of trying to get that stuff out there. So you can reach out to them at alexis.johnson@axios.com.
Thank you, Chrissy, so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That is all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. We'll have links in our show notes for where you can find food and get involved with some of these great organizations, both on our website, pittsburgh.citycast.fm, and through Axios Pittsburgh. You can support us by becoming a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor. All the details are at membership.citycast.fm. I suspect we might have some service days in our near future. We will be back tomorrow with more from around the city. We'll talk to you soon. Y'all, I was reading about this morning. It's nuts to me. The full cost of SNAP for the country is $8 billion per month, right? Just for funsies, I looked up the monthly Defense Department budget, $65 billion per month.